you're muted. You guys are. I can't hear you all. I'm assuming y'all can hear me now. I was saying the mustache is here. It's staying for the time being. After it debuted on Thursday, there was a decent amount of feedback. Most people said keep it. The only person who so far was against it was my mom. So for the time being, you got a mustache boy to look at. I was trying to have the timeline and everything all loaded up and ready to go, but my I guess my login kind of timed out. So I've been trying to get that to load back up while all the like waiting for stream screens were up. It looks like it's almost completely up. There it goes. There it goes. To be honest with you all, it's not as clean as it normally is at the start of stream. Just on account of there was some stuff from Justice League Unlimited that we added last time. The Batman Beyond stuff, once and future thing, epilogue, and I think that's it. And since that stuff got taken off of DC Universe, I had to pull out my DVDs to make that happen. To get the screenshots and everything to put in here. So I was trying to do that earlier today because I procrastinated on it because I was dreading having to pull out. Where is it? I had to pull out this old clunker to use my DVDs because it's the only computer I have with a disk drive right now, and so as a result, it took me forever to get that stuff in there. And so I ended up missing a couple things here and there to go back and check on. But for the most part, the Justice League Unlimited stuff we have in is all nice and good looking. But we're not doing Justice League Unlimited tonight. We're doing more Batman Beyond because there's always more Batman Beyond. Until I die, there's just always going to be more Batman Beyond. But essentially, I went in, I added all of the title cards for the stuff that we hadn't already placed, just kind of put it where it is in production order. Added production order numbers to everything that I had them for. I do not have the production order numbers for every single episode. I can kind of guess what they are based on like where those episodes fall. Right, like over here I got 385-486 is Untouchable and 385-488 is Ace in the Hole. So where's Terry is likely the one number between those, 385-487. But the thing is that the list I have in production order is based off of what World's Finest has on their website. And every now and then, they're usually pretty good at being 100% correct, but every now and then there's something that slips up, so I'm not putting production order numbers on things until I can verify them elsewhere. Usually that's done by finding concept art, like backgrounds or character models or whatever from that specific episode. So we've got our Batman Beyond era is a lot more, I guess, padded out than it was last time we were here. I think today where we're gonna start, since we ended on doing Batman Beyond websites last time, I think we're gonna start with doing some more of those. But let me catch up with y'all in the chat real quick. The mustache was blocking the sound waves. It's a muffler. Mustache Mattie over bald face Mattie. Yes, I do not like having a bald face. But more often than not, when I don't like having my bald face is mainly because I've been overweight for a very long time, and the less hair that's on my face, the more you can see, like, kind of all the extra skin and stuff that's going on. Your sound and video are not synced up, at least on my end. Me too, but it's not that noticeable. So I think what's going on is it looks like we've had a couple frame drops, and I don't know that it's gonna end up correcting itself. Maybe it will over time, maybe it won't. But that all happened while I was trying to load the timeline back up. So hopefully it won't be an issue throughout the stream. We moved all of the things in the house onto different networks than what network my computer that I'm streaming off of is on. So hopefully that will help things out. But I don't know. Hello, Greg. Are you feeling better today? I hope so. Last I heard, you weren't doing too hot. Oh, Keanu's here. Hey, how's it going? And, oh, Lemon Man says it's synced up now. Okay, tight. Okay, well, I am caught up with you all. As always, I'm going to have my... You know what? Let me grab... I need to grab my phone charger really quick. Because my phone likes to turn the screen off if it's not on the charger. But I'm going to have my phone charger up. Or not my phone charger. I'm going to have my phone up so I can follow you all on chat as I'm doing things. So let me grab that charger so it'll stay open and not go to a lock screen. Hold on. All right, there we go. There we go. I can see y'all. Greg says that they are doing better now. Awesome. That's so good to hear. I was concerned. I didn't see y'all saying excited to see that timeline get made. Me too. It's kind of like a sneak peek at how the timeline videos are made. Yeah, I mean that's basically what this is. Though we definitely started with you know what? Are you guys attached to having background music going on? Because I think that having that streaming might be something that's causing some of the frame drops. And if y'all aren't attached to the background music, then I'm not going to be attached to the background music, and I am willing to get rid of it if you all do not need it. Vader says, nice mustache. Well, thank you, Vader. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. I don't see anyone saying anything about the background music, so I am just going to not really get rid of it if it helps you. If it limits the frame rate, I don't mind losing it. All right, well then we're getting it out of here. Goodbye, background music. Rob says fucking mustache. Yes. My video is better now that I dropped the or it's just better than it was at one point. I was just whenever I got up to get the phone charger and came back, it said that I had a new frame rate drop notification. So that's why I was asking. I do like having that background music, but I think that what's gonna have to happen is I'll just have to like download it to my computer and play it natively. So I remember last week we went through Hasbro's Batman Beyond website where they had Batman Beyond toys, and I think we went through the one for Batman Beyond the movie, which was like the VHS release of Rebirth. So let's start with some Kids WB. I could play it off my phone. I mean, that's not gonna sound great for you all. But you know, it is what it is. Are you a young Jim Gordon? I could be. So we've got the one of the Kids WB Batman Beyond websites. And essentially what we're doing going through these is I'm just gonna read the website. If anything comes out for timeline purposes, we're gonna throw that in. I would love to eventually go through the go through the episodes and stuff on stream. But unfortunately, I feel like if we did that, we would get copyright strikes. So we just got to do all of this, just all of the extra stuff, and I just got to do the episodes kind of off stream, and I guess take notes. And maybe we can add stuff on stream, but I've got extra notes from like the Justice League Unlimited stuff that I didn't add in because I don't want to do I don't want to add stuff off stream and you know, work on this off stream and then all of a sudden shoot myself in the foot for having more content or whatever. But here we are on the Kids WB Batman Beyond website. This was circa February 2000. Stuff's a little bit broken. It looks like maybe this guy's supposed to be down here a little bit. This is probably supposed to be down here. I don't know why there's the stretch between, but it is what it is. The future of crime fighting has arrived. You guys, are any of you excited for the future of crime fighting like I am? Because let me tell you, that is what I have always been looking forward to. His name is Terry McGinnis, but you can call him Batman. For decades now, Bruce Wayne protected Gotham City, but now he's too old for combat, so he's turned over the Batmobile keys to a younger man. Also equipped with the state-of-the-art batsuit that lets him fly, be invisible, and have the strength of 10 men, the new Batman is ready to take on a new generation of villains, like Ink and the Joker. Batman Beyond at Burger King. I'm gonna open that because I don't know if I have the Batman Beyond Burger King website yet. So I'm gonna just open that in an extra tab, and we'll look at that later. Let's see. So we've got clickables for Terry, Bruce, Derek Powers, Ink, Willie Watt, and Barbara Gordon. Let's start with Terry. Well, is it not gonna? Why is it not? Okay, well let's go with Bruce. No? Why don't any of them want to... What if I hit open link in new tab? No, it's not that's weird. It's not letting me click any of them. I know that's just the Burger King website. That's not a Batman Beyond Burger King website. Like, I know for a fact, because I've done it, that they should be clickable. I'm wondering if maybe I need to go to another version of this page, another archived section. What was the burger place in Beyond? Oh, are you talking? I'm trying to remember. I know what you're talking about. It's from like the Joyride episode, I think. But I don't remember the name of the place off the top of my head. It's not Beefy Burgers. I think that might have been Invader Zim. I don't remember. They had some great toys at BK. I remember I had the Ink one and the Blight one, and those were both really cool. Bruce didn't seem old when he brutalized Ghoul. True. I assume you're talking a once and future thing. We could chalk that up to being a corrupted timeline. Let me see if I can get the no. Terry still doesn't want to open. Well then, let me try that in new tab again. If it doesn't want to go, it doesn't want to go, and then so I guess we'll just have to go to the next version of the Kids WB site because these don't want to. Yeah, no matter which one I click, it just takes us back to the top of the page. I'm working on a Bruce Timm style Batman drawing. Hell yeah. You'll have to show us when it's done. They reference, I think, a few times. We can look that up. Batman Beyond Burger Place. Joyride. Burger. And... my mom worked at Burger King and she brought home all the unsold Beyond toys, and I've never loved my mom more. Probably. I have an aunt who's been working at McDonald's for as long as I can remember. Yeah, Beefy Burger. Okay, so I was right. That is what it's called, Beefy Burger. But no, I have an aunt who's been working at McDonald's as long as I can remember, at least since the 90s. And it used to be every Christmas she would bring us just a shit ton of McDonald's toys. And that was always the coolest thing. Whenever I was working at McDonald's, that was like around the time Green Lantern, the animated series, had their McDonald's promo. And I think like I was working there through that. And Young Justice had one, and Beware the Batman had one. I think I stopped working there like pretty shortly before a Justice League Action promo deal was going on. At that point, I was just like, all right, I've had enough of McDonald's, and the toys aren't worth it. Big Belly Burger predecessor. Or would it be a successor since it's later in time? So since this one's not working, it's not letting us go to anywhere else, check out any of these people's bios. I wonder why they gave Willie Watt, of all people, a bio. That's kind of interesting. He wasn't like that big of a deal. No, I went to the same one. God damn it. Or did I? Hold on. This is 2001. No, I didn't go to the same one. Okay. So this is a slightly different one. So it's got the same stuff at the top, but now it has... Oh, of course it's going to open them in new windows, and since I'm window capturing, it's not going to let you see them. So I got to open them in new tabs. No, now it's telling me blocked. Oh my god. Am I going to have to open a new window and then copy... Yep, that's what I'm going to have to do. I'll copy and go over here. And while that's going, I will open the next one. I can probably just move them into the tabs. No, I can't, apparently. That's not what Microsoft Edge is about. Microsoft Edge isn't for ease of access. It's just because Google Chrome doesn't like OBS. Is the Green Lantern series worth watching? Oh, hell yeah. I watched it last summer. It was so much fun. It's pretty good, but the 3D animation hasn't really aged well. I would disagree. I say it's aged more or better than others. I'd bet that it was made really early on and they didn't have many options, so they threw Willie in. Probably, but you would think that they would have like at least Shriek and Spellbinder at that point. Like I know Willie is in like the first 3 episodes, but if you got Blight, then you've got at least through Meltdown. Okay, so Bruce Wayne bio. Now in his 70s, Bruce Wayne feels all the pain of his years of fighting crime as the legendary Batman. Now retired, Wayne is spending yet another evening alone in sumptuous Wayne Manor when Terry McGinnis suddenly bursts into his world. The handsome teenager is smart-mouthed, disrespectful, and very arrogant. Still, there's something about him. It sounds like Bruce Wayne is thirsty for Terry just right off the bat. It's love at first sight. I really need to watch Batman Beyond. You do. It's a really great show. I would say that the first season is probably the best. Somewhere about halfway through the second season, they changed up from doing manual hand-colored animation to digital. And so it loses a lot of the grit that kind of makes the world of Batman Beyond what it is in the first season and a half, but it still holds up. For the first time in years, Wayne feels the old juices churning. Whoever wrote this had to know what they were doing, right? Like, I can't be the only one getting sexual innuendo out of this. Like, they start with the handsome teenager. And still, there's something about him. The old juice is churning. This kid might be the one. The one worthy of wearing the suit. And just like Wayne before him, Terry's got some personal demons to fight. His father was murdered by thugs, so Terry's desire for justice is fired by a thirst for revenge. Reluctantly, Wayne lets Terry McGinnis don the Bat-Black disguise. As Terry fights the forces of evil in Gotham City, Wayne guides his young protege by transmitting advice through the radio link in the high-tech Batsuit. But Terry is determined to find his own way, and his rebelliousness often lands him in trouble. So the only thing there, I guess, that we could grab, just for the sake of being thorough, is that first sentence where it says he's in his 70s now. So let me snip that. Save as. Save in my Batman Beyond folder. Do I have a page or a folder for website info? Yes. Kids WB. Bruce is 70s. And we've already got Bruce's age on here. But we can always have more sources. Someone sent us an email the other day, being like, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Return of the Joker novelization says Bruce is exactly 77. And they sent us the screen cap of that and everything. So that might be something to add at some point today or in between streams. I just I probably can't scan my copy. I guess I could always take his copy out of the email, but I don't know specifically what page it is. Kids WB bio. Bruce is in his 70s at the time of rebirth. And then I can always get that link there. I feel like I've mentioned almost every stream, but it seems almost every time that some people missed it. If you've ever wanted to go through old websites like this, the way that we do it is through a website that archives the internet as it's happening. It's called the Wayback Machine, and it's you can find it at web.archive. Is it .com or .org? It's one of those two. That's close enough to size. Web.archive.org. So if you're ever wanting to look at these old websites or any other old websites from your childhood, you can do so that way. Not everything's going to be backed up. You won't be able to log into your old Neopets account and have things as it was, because obviously you can't really archive that since it's behind a password and all that. But most stuff that's just face forward on most websites, you can go back and access. Sometimes there's broken images or whatever, or broken pages altogether. But it's still a lot of fun to go back and see what you can see. Let's see, what do we got? Such a handsome teenager. See, James is there with me. I just watched it and I was blown away. Do you mean Geotas or Beyond? Geotas is awesome, but the second half is a bit weaker than the first. I loved the ending of it. Like that got me real good. Been watching Batman Beyond on and off since they put it on HBO Max. Hell yeah. I need to get HBO Max at some point, but currently very poor, waiting for a stimulus check, waiting for 2 months of unemployment payments, so it will be some time. Everyone's churning the whole juice. Bruce is very old and has been alone for a long time. He's just desperate for some companionship. Do you think when they put the suit in quotes, they were talking about a birthday suit, or do you think it was the bat suit? Because I mean, Bruce said this might be the kid. Hey, conspiracy buff, welcome aboard. Apparently, the new Batwoman is crossing over with Titans. Interesting. I'd be down to see that. So I'm a DCAU subscriber, and I went on today to watch Justice League, and it looks like everything is pretty much gone besides JL Tass and a few other movies, but Unlimited isn't on HBO Max yet. Yeah, that's... I went on there the other day, and DC Universe literally only has 6 animated series left on it. I didn't count anything else, but that was a bit disappointing to see. Wait, hold on. Is Ted in the Watchtower Database account? Let's see. Terry McGinnis's bio. Terry McGinnis was like a lot of 17-year-olds, rebellious and at odds with the world, until one fateful night brought him to Wayne Manor. What, or rather who, Terry found there changed his life and the face of superhero fiction forever. Who Terry found was Bruce Wayne. Wayne had retired, defeated by age and the burden of being Batman. Terry couldn't believe this bitter old man was once the legendary crime fighter and gladly left when Wayne turned him out. But after his father's murder, Terry returned to Wayne Manor and stole the Batman suit, determined to seek revenge. Inspired by Terry's youthful passion, Wayne reluctantly let him take on the role. And so, Terry became the new Batman, or, as the citizens of Gotham City named him, the Tomorrow Knight. But, though he respects his mentor's vast experience, Terry often chooses his own way. Will Terry find the wisdom to overcome his youthful anger and seek only justice? Can Bruce Wayne channel Terry's passion and make him into a 21st century crime fighter? Meanwhile, the fate of Gotham City hangs in the balance. Alright, so I guess we can grab that Terry is 17. They're suggesting that he's 17 at the time of Rebirth, and maybe that was the initial plan. But like Epilogue later said, no, Terry is actually 16 at Rebirth, and he just becomes 17 later on throughout the show. It's almost as if time moves in the DCAU. Let's see, where is... Here it is. I gotta recolor those bubbles. That's another thing I gotta do. Because I had them colored for the Batman Beyond colors. But, Terry's birth we see in Justice League Unlimited, so I had to put Justice League Unlimited colors on it. If it'll let me add a note card to the stack. Maybe Ted is, maybe he isn't. Ted's line. Obviously, it's James got... Either James or Ted are fighting with themselves. I think James is the only one with access to the full account, though. Because I don't have access to the full account. So if Ted has it and I don't, then I feel miffed. Kids, WB, bio. Terry is suggested to be 17 at the time of Rebirth. Cause yeah, like during the show, they mentioned Terry being 17, multiple times. They never like outright say that he's 17, but they're just like, 7 years ago I was 10, and stuff like that. So it would seem to be that they had just planned for him to be a 17-year-old and then realized Batman Beyond has to take place over a longer period of time. There we go. Let's just put that there. I'm not even going to worry about resizing it right now. How many contribute to the site? Do you mean how many people contribute to Watchtower Database? So there's like the main staff is would be James, Ted, and myself, the three people that you see presenting YouTube videos. But on top of presentation, research, and script writing, all of that, James also takes on all of the video editing duties. Then we have the Legacies of the DCAU team. There's a couple people involved with that that aren't me, James, or Ted. I know Mark is a consistent artist for that, but we've been reaching out to other artists to help us out with getting things moving a bit quicker on that. And then we've got a Discord mod staff, which is it's a volunteer position. It's more or less it's just a couple people from our Discord community who are in there much more often than James, Ted, and I have the time to be. And so we've just said, hey, can you make sure that people don't go buck whiling in here? Then we've got Adam, who does music for us. And that's basically it, right? Like it's not a huge thing, at least in the sense of the people who are doing the YouTube side of things, I guess. And you said, what state do I live in? I live in Seattle. Why do I have Bruce again? I don't need Bruce. Seattle, Washington. Did the Barbara one just not open correctly? Let me copy that again. I've got the Justice League Unlimited up already, but I'm trying to go in order. Oh, okay, there we go. Barbara Gordon. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, or in Barbara Gordon's case, the title of police commissioner of Gotham City. Her father served in the same post for years, but he had a powerful ally in his fight against crime, the legendary Batman. Barbara thinks police work is best handled by the police, but even she can't help being hopeful when a new hero arrives on the scene. The Tomorrow Night, aka the new Batman, now in her early 60s, Barbara is tough, smart, a woman who definitely knows the score. She's long known the dark secret of the wealthy industrialist Bruce Wayne. He's Batman, and savvy Barbara quickly puts the pieces together to uncover another secret. Gotham City's new savior is actually a rebellious 17-year-old boy, Terry McGinnis. Years before Barbara was in fact Batgirl, although, like Wayne, she long ago hung up her wings. Now she's presented with an exciting new chance to finally rid Gotham City of crime, and to once again work closely with Bruce Wayne, the man who broke her heart. So there we go. We got some bat cess right off the top. But we do have confirmation here that Barbara is in her early 60s. So that's a new bit of info. I guess that tracks with what we know about her being 2021 by the time of Sub-Zero, and then this being 40-ish years after that. So it tracks. I'm sure we could have deduced, but it's always nice to have something official. However, if you go by Bruce Timm's, we're always 50 years in the future, then Barbara was a teenager when she became Batgirl, and that makes the Bruce X Barbara thing a little bit more creepy. You know what? Let me actually, instead of just moving the 1, up. There we go. Okay. Instead of just moving the 1 by itself, let me do a selection. And then move that whole daggum thing over. The only thing I know about Seattle is that Space Needle thing. That's really all we got going on here. No, Seattle's it's great if you have money. If you're poor, it's very depressing, and not necessarily the best place to be. But we've got lots of nice nature areas and like parks and stuff here, and you know there's tons of stuff to do because it's a city. We got like the Museum of the Pop Culture History that I've been wanting to go ever since we got here, but it's just you know a money thing. We got a nice zoo. There's plenty of awesome local restaurants. Which, like, that's the one part of Seattle that I feel like we've gotten to explore a bit. Just because, you know, food can be expensive. But it's something that, if it is expensive, you can usually justify going for expensive food once every now and then. Barbara Gordon is born. And then I'm going to put her kids' WB bio. Barbara is in her early 60s when Batman Beyond starts. Oh, where'd that E come from? Get that out of here. No E's! Tomorrow Night is not a thing bio. Don't try to make it. Right, every time Tomorrow Night comes up, I keep thinking that it sounds like something that like a network exec came up with, that like they really wanted to try to make a thing, and like Bruce Timm and co were just like, we're not putting this in the show ever. We're not calling him the Tomorrow Night. And so the network exec said, okay, well, we'll just put it on every single piece of everything else, whether you have it in the show or not. Then kids are gonna get it. If you guys find yourselves in Vancouver at some point, beers on me, no joke. Hell yeah. I my fiance and I have actually been talking about going up to Canada to live, just to get the fuck out of the U.S. But hopefully, with Trump getting out, there will be at least not the best raise in standard of living, but you know, at least a better standard of living than I've had for the past half of a decade. So we'll see. We're more seriously talking about moving to Oregon though, by the end of the year, just so we're closer to James. And I think Ted was talking about coming out this way as well. So we can you know, be like Team 10 and start a YouTube house. And be YouTube pranksters. But if we're in Vancouver, for sure, that would be a lot of fun. I've always wanted to get out of the country and just hang out, even if I'm not going up there to live. Let's see. This whole book is thirsty for Terry. Oh, it's not a book. It's the Kids WB website. I was watching on HBO Max, and I think they did refer to him as the Tomorrow Night at one point. Like the mysterious news talking head or something. I don't think that they do. Maybe they do, but I do not remember that ever being brought up in the show. But that's Barbara. Here we go. We've got the Justice League Unlimited. That's the official name of the team. I can drag them around. Nice. Okay. Old superheroes never die. They just have to put up with upstarts like Terry McGinnis, aka the new Batman. Weird. They just said old superheroes never die. Oh, but the old Batman's done, and so we got a new Batman. The Justice League, a sextet of superhero dynamos, pulls together to support Batman Terry. Pulls together to support Batman Terry in his 21st century battle against all things evil. Happily, the League's got experience and firepower to spare. Superman, the name says it all. He may be a little long in the tooth, but hey, he's Superman. Big Barda, the Amazonian warrior, gives new meaning to the words, I am woman, hear me roar. African-American superhero Micron proves that size does matter. Do I need to make the joke? I don't need to make the joke. But also, like, I there's just something that strikes me so weird that, like, all the press material for, like, these 90s cartoon shows, when they have a black character, they're just like, hey, African American, hey, and it's just like, you get like I understand that, like, the diversity thing is huge, but, like, just pounding over the head, being like African American, it's just, I don't know, the wording seems weird. African American's not, like, the term people use, I guess, nowadays in the 2020s. Maybe it was fine in the 90s, but, like, it just feels old and dated and weird reading it. It's the Kids WB website that makes it worse. But why would you ever want to leave America when Joe Biden's trying so hard to heal the nation? Well, I'll tell you right now, Jack. That man's not just going to heal the nation. He's going to cure cancer. He promised. So African-American superhero Micron proves that size does matter, with his power to change his size from minuscule to mountainous at the drop of a hat. Warhawk makes villains take flight with his tough, aggressive Birdman powers that pay homage to the legendary Hawkman. It's kind of that one's kind of funny, you know, with after sight going into it. Aqua Girl, the gorgeous descendant of the original Aquaman, cleans house with her overflowing powers. The Green Lantern lives, with his magic ring now worn by a young but philosophically evolved Asian boy. He wears it well. You know, I don't... Is it weird? Like, okay, so saying that someone's an Asian person, like, doesn't seem as weird as, you know, calling someone African American, but, like, putting that into the bio itself feels weird. I don't know why, though. It might just be like we're at a point in where we've come as far as representation that, like, you don't have to explicitly point these things out anymore. It may also be that, like, because the bio's so small that, like, maybe that's just a strange thing to put in, and they expanded on it and like gone more into, like, his cultural background, that it may be worthwhile. But, like, just in that one small sentence, it seems weird to me. But I don't know. Were the Static Shock ads that way? What, like, as like beating you over the head with calling everyone African American? I think so, if I remember correctly. I would have to go to the Static Shock Kids WB page, which I think is mostly broken. But we can look for that later after the Batman Beyond stuff. I know DC Universe's official bio for Terry says the Tomorrow Night is his alias. Yeah, they still like to hold on to that. African American's too formal for this sort of thing. Just call him Black if you want to highlight his race. Yeah, that's how I was feeling. I just finished my Batman drawing. It turned out okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Glad to hear it turned out okay. As a black guy, I'd rather have them go all out with it like black character does black guy stuff all the time while helping other black people. Just put it everywhere you can. Let's see. Who else do we got? We've got Big Time. We've got Max. We got Zeta. Is it going to count Zeta and Ro as one character? It is. Okay, that's fine. Let me move them over here. Jesus, it's not pasting the fucking... That's okay. I can just open it again. Copy Big Time, paste it here, go to Big Time. I wonder if I can manipulate the URL to find Willie Watts' bio from the other thing. Well, no, because he's not the only one missing. Him, Blight, and Ink aren't on this this new updated page. Let's see. So that was Zeta. Let me get Mad Stan and the Cobras. Not Cobra, the Cobras. Copy. Breaking. Lex Luthor orders his supporters to storm the Hall of Justice. Oh no. Oh no. I'm just... Ever since that happened, like, I've been kind of monitoring my dad's Twitter feed, as well as, like, kind of just scrolling through the Donald.win and, like, kind of trying to read into, like, what these people are thinking. And it's batshit. Like, the whole thing is just fucking... Ugh! And I'm honestly kind of scared about where we go from here. Mattie says it's fine that they're counted as the same, but on the inside, Mattie knows it's not okay that they're counted as one character. Well, so they give them one page, but it looks like they both get separate bios, right? Because it says Zeta and Ro. So that's why I said it was fine. I think that actually happened in Scott Snyder's JL run. Oh, the storming the Hall of Justice thing. Was that the recent like from like 2019, 2020 with the Apex Predator thing? Because you might be right there. I think that did kind of happen. Now that you mention it. Big Time's bio. Big Time started out life as Charlie Bigelow, a tough, big talking kid who grew up with Terry McGinnis. Charlie was always angling for a leg up, either legal or illegal, and he easily enticed young Terry into a bit of petty theft. When they were caught, Terry spent a few months in juvenile hall, but Charlie was old enough to be tried as an adult. He went to prison. Once out of the big house, Charlie put the touch on old friend Terry. All of these bios are just like incredibly horny. Charlie put the touch on old friend Terry. I went on the Donald.win on the stream the other night after you tweeted about it. It was hilarious. Yeah, like those people are just like, they're batshit. And like none of them get their messaging right, because like they're all listening to like different conspiratorial people. And so they're all just panicking all the time. And it's almost never consistent from one post to another. And they pick up like half of what one person's saying and half of what another person's saying, and their conclusions, regardless of how different they are, can get very scary very quickly. Put the touch in his old juices. No, we're not touching anyone's old juices. DCAU tackles mass incarceration. We actually did deal with that. I don't know I don't know if you were around for they were fighting among themselves on if it was a deep fake or not. Oh yeah, the concession speech or whatever. Yeah, that was I read that one. It's ridiculous. But no, DCAU kind of did go into the mass incarceration thing with the Rise of Sin Tzu novel, but instead of going with there was a prison break and not everybody was locked up, justly. They went with there is a huge prison break, and now the entire city's on fire. Half the people say it was actually Antifa. Half of them say storming the Capitol was good. Actually, not realizing they're totally contradictory. My dad's still going back and forth with contradictory messaging on whether it was Antifa or not, and whether it matters if it was Donald Trump supporters and this, that, and the other. It's just all nonsense. Let's see. Stricken by guilt, Terry used his influence to land Charlie a job at Wayne Enterprises. But Charlie was still only interested in the big score, and he used his security clearance to help some crooks steal the company's experimental growth hormone, the male vitality pill. When Batman arrived to stop the theft, the growth hormone accidentally spilled on Charlie with horrendous results. Charlie's dark inner nature now has a physical manifestation. He's big time, a grotesque, malformed giant with superhuman strength who has one goal in life: to seek revenge against Batman! Meanwhile, Charlie/Big Time continues to have a love-hate relationship with his childhood friend Terry McGinnis, unaware that Terry and Batman are one and the same. So we've got Terry spent a few months in juvenile hall. I don't know if we've ever had any indication on how long he spent. So if it's only a few months, that could be something that we put in now. Yeah, I've got that. Oh no, I was doing 90 days in juvie. So that's technically a couple months. But you know what? I'll grab it anyway, right? Like I said, being thorough, having everything. And let me save that as Kids WB Big Time Bio Terry months. I only played the Senzu game and it wasn't great. Yeah, we played that a while back. What was it? 2019 now. Whenever Ted and James had both come up to Seattle for a Comic-Con. And it's not that good of a game. The what you call it? The book I feel like was pretty good. But I was just kind of concerned with the politics of it a little bit, because it kind of ignored the fact that people get wrongfully incarcerated all the time, that many people who are incarcerated are nonviolent offenders, etc., etc., etc. Oh no, I wasn't trying to change the bubble color. I wanted to change the text color. And so, like, with it just kind of, glossing over all of that stuff, it felt, especially since we were reading it during, like, the time where the George Floyd protests were at their height. And so it felt like a really weird dissonance of, like, where we were now to, like, where they were back in the early 2000s when it was being written. Which, like, I understand, it's a novelization of a video game meant for children, so you're probably not going to get into a lot of that kind of stuff in it. But at the same time, the novelization was very clear that it was written for adults. Like we got mentions of, like, Scarecrow's urethra in it, and a couple mentions of, like, white nationalists and stuff like that. So I was just kind of surprised that, like, there was never even a passing mention of, like, people who may have gotten up out the prison and just fucking dipped and were never heard from again, because they took the chance to live a free life and never look back. Big Times bio says Terry was in juvie for months. And I will drag that down here under all of this stuff, if it will let me. Old Juices is what I'm gonna call what happened after Bruce and Barbara started dating. No! Okay, look, I'm all for I'm personally never been bothered by the Bruce and Barbara relationship, but I don't want it to be referred to as Old Juices. That makes it weird. Imagine if America was torn apart not by Marxist-Leninist anarchists or terrorists in the Middle East, but by a squad of hyper-radicalized chuds dressed up in Halloween costumes. Oh, man, let me tell you, it's... They also claim that they're doing it because they love America. Right? These are the same people who want to destroy terrorism outside of America. But they also really want to be terrorists inside of America. I wish I could play the game. I hit the button too soon. That book was also horny. Definitely for Nightwing. Yes, they were. They were definitely had a lady boner for Nightwing going on. I believe the author was a woman, if I remember correctly. Devin Grayson is notorious for being horny on main for Nightwing, so that didn't surprise me. It was a great book. It was a lot of fun. And if y'all missed it, the streams are all archived, and you can go back and listen to them at some point. It won't be as fun because it's not live, but at least you'll get the story, and you can skip through the parts where I'm not reading the story. All right, now we got Max. Max is a perfect name for someone who likes to test the limits, and Batman Beyond's Max does just that. Max is the ultimate individualist, a person who marches, dresses, and does just about everything to the beat of her own drum. She's a huge fan of Ayn Rand and has read Atlas Shrugged at least 420 times. The operative word here being her. Maxine, Max Gibson, is in fact a strong-willed African-American girl who is Terry McGinnis's high school classmate and confidant, the only person, besides Bruce Wayne, who knows that Terry is the new Batman. Oh, I thought I saw a new chat coming through. Schoolwork's a no-brainer for Brainy Max, so instead, she seeks out intellectual challenges on her computer. She supports Terry's crime-fighting efforts by supplying him important and often classified info she easily digs up on the internet. By supplying him important and classified info that she easily digs up on the internet is capitalized because it's the 90s. Max also helps Terry juggle the demands of his double life as an average teen and superhero dynamo. But Max yearns to be more than just Terry's girl Friday, and she looks forward to the day when she can escape the confines of her computer terminal and become part of the real adventure. See, I think it had to do with how small the bios were for the Justice League. Because, they put a focus on, Max's race and gender here. But we're getting so much more stuff that's important to the character that it doesn't feel like they are just being like, that's all you need to know about the characters, that they're this thing. That's all you need to know. Right, I know Cairo and Micron didn't really get a lot of screen time on Batman Beyond, so maybe they just didn't have a lot extra to put, but I don't know. Max is now Rorschach. Whoever wrote the bios on this website, wow, they need to be fired. Well, I'll tell you what, this was 2001. I doubt they still have their job. Rugged. What? You don't like rugged individualism? How else do you think that late stage capitalism can exist into the 2030s? And we can get Neo Gotham, where everyone who's poor lives on the ground and all of the rich people live in high rises that are connected to each other by sky bridges. Come on. Think about it, Danny. So there's nothing really here on this bio to add. I mean, she's a high school student. So we could suss out an age from that, but we know she's a high school student. So no biggie. She's very like angular. Can I open the image and make it big? Parts of her don't seem to be how anatomy works. But you know, that's just the Bruce Timm art style for you. Okay, Dr. Peters. Are you ready? Are you ready for my my second set of 12 rules? Here's where the fun starts. Here we go. Is my boy Jake in the chat? Jake, if you're here, say something. Cause this part's for you. But if you ain't here, we're doing Zeta. We gotta do Zeta without Jake, I guess. What does it mean to be human? For most of us, that's a question on a philosophy quiz. For Zeta, it's a matter of life or death. Zeta is a robot designed by dark forces within the US government and given the power to change its voice and appearance at will to become an exact double of any human being. That skill allows Zeta to do its assigned job easily and efficiently to kill any enemies of the government. Bro, imagine they had a Zeta going on at the Capitol. Just pop, 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 pop. Killing all of those rioters left and right. I wish that they stuck with that for Zeta. Like it was just supposed to be so much darker than Batman Beyond, and you kind of get that here, right? Like, designed by dark forces within the U.S. government and given the power to change its voice and appearance to become an exact double of any human being. Skill allows Zeta to do its assigned job easily and efficiently. Kill any enemies of the government. Like, think about what that means for the world of Batman Beyond. That they live in like a fucking totalitarian. We have government murder robots, and you're not allowed to question it kind of situation. Like the Zeta Project could have been the best show of the whole DCAU. And then the network exec said, well, you see, we just had Columbine. And now we're having 9/11, and you can't really talk shit about the NSA. Like, it could have been so good. But along the way, the robot has developed a conscience. So Zeta's on the run now. Its only hope for redemption is to locate its creator, Dr. Selig. But when Zeta kidnaps and impersonates Max, Batman's best friend, the Winged One goes after Zeta, believing the robot to be a threat to mankind. Honestly, Terry was right. But it's not the robot that's the threat. It's the people that made the robot. If you make a robot like this, then you still got the plans, you got the blueprints, you got all the stuff that you need to make another one. Terry should have taken down the government. Alex Jones would lose his shit even more than usual. Dark forces in the U.S. government. God, I love how imaginative fiction is. Are you trying to tell me that maybe President Trump created Zeta? Will Batman realize his mistake in time? Accompanying Zeta on the quest for freedom is Ro, a smart-mouthed teenage girl who's trying to reconnect with her family. Ro is Zeta's guardian angel. She may not have the robot's computer-powered brains, but she does have the street smarts Zeta needs to survive. Okay, so they didn't really do it as two separate bios. I take it back! I take it back! This isn't fine at all! We need more Zeta. Luckily, there are a decent handful of Zeta project websites too. But I don't have those bookmarked right now, so maybe I should bookmark them for next time around. Holy crap! I might just order the Zeta Project DVDs. It's a fun show. It's very kidified in terms of the rest of the DCAU, but like the episodes that are like where the plot is actually moving forward, rather than just being dragged down by the like, oh, adventure of the week kind of stuff. Those episodes are a lot of fun. And you know, I wish Zeta could get a season 3 revival all of these years later, following up as a sequel to that, but hitting the intended tone that they originally were going for. But I don't see it ever happening. Who else do we got? Mad Stan, played by my man Henry Rollins. But yeah, definitely get the Zeta Project DVDs if it's something you're interested in. I doubt they'll ever put them on anything, any streaming service or anything, unfortunately, just because there's not a high demand for Zeta Project. The 60s. A time of peace, love, flower power, and violent rebellion! Batman... Wasn't the 60s like the civil rights movement? Are they... Are they equating the civil rights movement with violent rebellion? Let me Google violent rebellion America in 1960s, right? Because like that's like the Marxist theory of rebellion, the logic of rebellion. I wish there was just a wiki. But I'm pretty sure 1960s was like the civil rights movement, and was Stonewall? Yeah, so civil rights leaders in 1960s. Was Stonewall 1960s? Stonewall riots, 1969. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's not intentional. But like, why? Maybe there's something else in the 1960s that I'm just not thinking of. But like, what I know of as rebellion in the 1960s is civil rights movements, and 60s is also like flower children and sexual liberation shit. Yeah, well, I mean, like, we got that part here: time of peace, love, flower power, and violent rebellion. And like, was there something going on in the 60s, like other than like that could be classified as violent rebellion, other than like Stonewall and the civil rights movement and all that kind of stuff? Like, I mean, I'm sure that there was opposition to that stuff that you know got violent, but I wouldn't say that getting violent in support of the status quo is considered rebellion. Right? So I wouldn't think that they're talking about like civil rights counter protesters. Batman nemesis Mad Stan, a 60s style radical, especially loved that last aspect of the period, because Stan is not only angry, he's insane. This hulking militaristic madman also loves explosive devices. Basically, he's never met a bomb he didn't like. Mad Stan himself is a lot like a bomb. He's easily ticked off. One day, his anger might be directed at having to pay fines for overdue library books. The next day, he's ready to blow up society in general. Why? Well, as far as Mad Stan is concerned, why not? Whatever the cause of his ire, ultra-violent Stan is always one of Batman's most explosive problems. So, like, Why are they calling him a 60s style radical and then acting as if that means there's no motive other than I just want to do this? Well, you know, I'll grab this 60s information, and I will I'll put it on the timeline as this being the way that the 60s are characterized. So that would be close to where the Bruce Wayne is born thing is. I'm sure we'll probably end up narrowing it down a bit more later. Maybe whenever we get to the what is Bruce Wayne's age video that we have, and I think it ends up putting him in the 60s rather than 1957 to 1967. So I will have Mad Stan here. This is how the 60s are apparently. I'll change that to something else at some point, but I want to just go ahead and throw it on before I forget. Nah, I think they mean the civil rights movement, like rebellion against the Vietnam War. I think that's probably it. Maybe, but like even then, that's a weird way to characterize it. I feel like, right? Because I feel like that falls under the time of peace, right? Like it was protesting for peace. What in the fuck is that whole first paragraph, dude? I do not know. I love Mad Stan, but like seeing that this is how like they characterize him on the website, I'm like, Old Juice is another explosive. Stop it! Get some help. Is he Jimmy? So while I was watching the Once and Future thing earlier, to grab the screenshots to put in for everything, Enid, right, Cronus's wife, Enid says that she should have married Jim Dorman, and that got me laughing so fucking hard just because of the Jimmy Dore connection. I really want to know about those black superheroes from Static Shock because I can't imagine that two black vigilantes in the 60s could have gone well for them. Oh, yeah, man. I would love to know more about Soul Power and Sparky. I don't think that there's really any more canonical stuff that expands on their situation. I do know that there is a book that they're in. Like, they made a couple Static Shock children books, but I'm pretty sure that those were more or less adaptations of episodes, so I don't think it would have any extra material. But maybe I should track those down and see for myself whenever I end up having a little bit of money to throw that way. So that's Mad Stan for you guys. And how WB Intern 32 sees the 60s the same way that Pete Buttigieg does. Yes, that was legitimately his name, Danny, and I couldn't. It was so fucking funny. Mad Stan is just a Family Guy character. I could kind of see him working in that art style. I love that they're called the Cobras instead of just Cobra. Afraid of snakes? Well, then the Cobras probably aren't the club you've been looking to join. The Cobras aren't really a club anyway. In fact, they're a secret reptile-worshipping organization bent on total world domination. And you thought the Boy Scouts had too many rules. Cobra members not only dress like snakes, They're hard at work on a plan that will let them actually become reptiles in the form of human dinosaur hybrids. And this is no snake in the sky fantasy. Well financed, scientifically advanced, and vast in number, this group might just slither their way to success. Talk about a snake in the grass. Batman's got his work cut out for him battling this scaly bunch. Okay, so nothing really there to add. I'm gonna try to see if I can manipulate the what you call it, the URL, to see if maybe I can find those other the other bios for Willie and Blight and who else was it? Ink. That it wasn't letting us click on earlier. And while that's going, I'm going to grab another drink real quick. I will be right back momentarily. So the reviews are coming in, and when I went out to go get my drink, Sissy told me that she got a good laugh out of that 420 joke with Max reading Atlas Shrugged. So it's good to hear. Did Static not have a side comic? That's weird considering every other show but Zeta did. Yeah, no. So apparently with Static, Dwayne McDuffie tried to get a Static Shock Adventures comic going, but they just like every other piece of Static merchandise that they tried to get up off the ground, it got shut down because, you know, black people don't buy merchandise, black characters don't sell, yada yada yada, just racist shit coming out of corporate. So never happened. We did get a pseudo animated style Static Shock comic in DC's like 9/11 what is it called, compendium or whatever, when they did a bunch of like short stories in the wake of the September 11th terrorist attacks. So we got a Static Shock there that kind of works off of the animated series models, but is a bit more realistic in detail. But other than that, there was no Static Shock comic, almost no Static Shock merch, with the exception of like a line of Subway toys. We got like the 2 or 3 Static Shock books through Scholastic Publishing, and they did like a Static Shock keychain for the WB store. But other than that, we didn't have any Static merch until like 2011, when they finally made like a figure of Old Man Static for the JLU line. I fucking love these bios, man. They're trying so damn hard. It's been cool that it becomes endearing. They're definitely a lot of fun. Some of the ones from like Superman the animated series and stuff like that, kind of have the same vibe, but they took them like out of the Who's Who in the DCU book, I think, and then like kind of edited some stuff to make it show specific. But yeah, they're all tons of fun. I assume with the Batman Beyond ones, they kind of just had to make them up on the spot, because of the fact that, you know, they were brand new characters. Mattie, when is the next video you are going to be in? No clue. We're working real hard on a video where we got the script and artwork for a Batman Beyond comic that was canceled last second, after it had already, you know, been publicized and everything. And so they had finished up inks on like half of the pages, and it was about to go to coloring. Some of the pages are even lettered, and they got it canceled because DC thought the Terrific Trio might be too close to the Fantastic Four and get them in legal trouble. So we're working on that. We've got a lot of guests lined up to lend voices to the comic and kind of bring it to life. And I've been for the last week or so trying to gather guests and everything around. But with James now having the baby, and you know, we don't have I don't think we have a video out tomorrow as a result of that. Maybe just a James being like, I got a baby now kind of video. It's getting pushed back some. I think the way that we're talking, it might be late February, early March when that one comes out, but I'm not too entirely sure. Oh, how delightful. Dwayne had to have the patience of a saint to put up with that crap for so long. Right? Like, going back and reading a lot of the stuff that he wrote about his time, not just at Warner Brothers, but like with, you know, the corporate world altogether, it's fascinating how just archaic that shit is, and how baked in the racism was. I never grew up with DCAU, but I did with Ben 10, Alien Force, and Ultimate Alien, and Dwayne McDuffie worked on those shows, and they are my favorite iteration of Ben 10. I really do need to give Ben 10 a go. I caught a couple episodes like years back when I was in high school, because the Cartoon Network had like an all-day marathon going on, and I really enjoyed what I was seeing, but I've never taken the time to go back. That might be something I do after my fiance and I finish Steven Universe. We haven't chosen our next show yet, but we are barreling through Steven Universe like very quickly. I guess technically we still have Steven Universe Future to go after that, but we gotta have HBO Max to get it, so we might take a break in between the two. I'm not too entirely sure. But yeah, let me see if I can find find any more bios for the Kids WB Batman Beyond. We've got Barbara, we've got Big Time, we've got Bruce. Those are GIFs. That's another GIF. GIF. Another GIF. So many GIFs. That's the Justice League. It's the Cobras. That's Mad Stan. That's Max. That's Terry. That's Zeta. So that's everything. That's everything that got at least, I guess, filed that way. Was there any way to... What if I just take off the Bat Beyond pop-up part of the HTML and I hit go way back? Oh shit, that's gonna show me all of the... That's gonna show me the specific archived dates. Hold on, what was the... Was there a difference in the URL from the 1999 one to, or I guess the 2001 to the 2001 one? Because if there is, then maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. Nope, batbay.html. Okay. Oh, why is it searching asterisk? That's not what I wanted. McDuffie knew how to write a story. Story, characters, and heart was top notch. Ben 10 is sick. Would love for you to do a crossover with the Ink Tank channel. I think a couple people have mentioned they want us to cross over with Ink Tank. So that might be something to do. There's Ben 10 kind of touches the DCAU here and there just a tiny bit, just based on like there's stuff that's crossed over with other stuff that's crossed over with other stuff kind of stuff going on, and then there's like that Toonami Asia situation that we went through where it shows the DCAU characters teaming up with Ben 10 and Generator Rex in a different Earth. So it might be worth trying to figure out some way to do something with them. But since I'm not familiar with Ben 10, I just don't know what it would be yet. I'm decent at DCAU impressions. I can do a decent Terry impression. Hell yeah. Ben 10 is fucking rad. Anybody watch Symbiotic Titan? That show had a plethora of BHS. I watched Symbiotic Titan like early last year sometime. That was a real fun show. I don't remember too much from it just because I watched too much stuff. But I do remember enjoying it, and I do remember Shake It, Bake It, Booty Quake It. Okay, so it doesn't look like we'll be able to access those other, unless, and this is a long shot. What if I just go to the kidswb.com and then maybe search URLs for Ink and Blight and I gotta put the asterisk so it'll put me back on the search situation. There's a couple Toonami promos with Heat Blast from Ben 10 in it. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's like Toonami Asia. Greg likes the Ink Tank. Well, we might have to hit them up at some point. Let me see. Let me just type in Ink. No matching URLs found. All right. Well, that ends that, I suppose. So let's, I guess, move on to another set of Batman Beyond web pages. What do we got on the list? So I've done Hasbro, I've done Kids WB. We've got the Return of the Joker website, the original Batman Beyond website, and the YTV website. YTV being a Canadian broadcast station. Danny said they were enjoying the bios, so I'm gonna go to YTV that I know for sure should have some bios. Of course, the image is broken. Have all you evil residents of all you evil residents of Gotham City, better look out because there's a new bat in town. Flap, flap, flap on over to the 21st century. Our hero, Bruce Wayne, is in retirement. But instead of spending his bat days watering the bat garden, keeping his bat dentures clean, and playing bat golf, he's training young Terry McGinnis to be Gotham's new mask-wearing, crime-fighting superhero. Terry is determined to avenge his father's murder. Is it enough to drive him, well, batty? It is enough to drive him, well, batty. Sound familiar? And because it is now the future, of course you're going to see even better bat gadgets and even faster bat vehicles, all to fight for justice against the even meaner bad guys. YTV brings you 13 all-new bat shows. Check the YTV guide for the right bat time in your bat zone. So I've got episodes, characters, and gallery. Let's start with characters. I audibly groaned at flap, flap, flap. This bio killed me. You don't like the bat dentures? Alright, this already looks cool. We got Terry here, and we got Terry here. And what the fuck is this thing with a tongue and teeth? Alright, let's see. Who should we start with? I have a feeling that it's possible that the bios will be the same for some of these characters. So I'm going to open up Bruce and Terry and Barbara off to the side, and we'll do those last. Because it's very possible that these bios come straight out of like a style guide book or something that might have gone around. Jesus Christ, that is an ugly photo for Blight. Just his fucking noggin. Oh my god. Okay. A man of beastly tactics, Derek Powers stands over 6 feet tall and has a commanding presence with cool eyes, a slippery voice, and stark white hair that can catch even the most cautious of business associates off guard. What? If that's how you're going to open up your bio, why is this the image that you're going to use? Why would you say, the guy we're talking about looks nothing like this guy to the right? Why is he here? Oh, yeah. Not surprisingly, Powers holds a secret about his appearance. After an unfriendly encounter with Batman, Powers was exposed to a mutagenic nerve gas. The gas, in combination with the radiation he later received to heal his scars, has left him transformed into a walking toxic hazard. Beneath the layer of artificial skin that hides his true face from the world and contains his toxicity, Powers' body is luminescent, glowing like phosphorus. Oh, they even cut out his back for us. Powers' manufactured skin must be replenished every 24 hours or it deteriorates and falls away. At least once at a night, Powers' doctors place him in a mold that vacuum packs a new layer of skin over his radiating body. Powers and his doctors are constantly searching to find a cure for his condition and work tirelessly towards this goal. Powers' other goal is to do anything to kill the man he blames for his condition. Batman, the Tomorrow Night. Ugh, my hand! So nothing really there. They're still horny. Wait, did I miss a horny thing? Was it just the cutout of his back, or did I read something horny and not notice it? Billions of dollars at his fingertips, and he couldn't even afford a half-decent profile pic. I'm still kind of like in the mindset of Captain Atom now exists so much earlier in the DCAU history that, like, how did they not have this shit on lock? Mattie saying tirelessly while yawning is some good unintended irony. Ugh. I yawn so much, and I still don't do anything about it. I never just go to sleep. Dana Tan. We didn't get a bio for her yet. Dana is an intelligent, cute, and hip Asian American teen with an in-your-face attitude. Her picture's not even there. She's confident, independent, and not influenced by outside opinions from anyone. That's not how being a human works. Is Dana a robot? Like, there's no way you could be a human and not have outside opinions influence you in any way. Dana's not interested in any of the teenage boys at school because she finds them too immature, except for Terry. Dana is intrigued by a certain aura of danger he possesses. The two sometimes date, and while neither considers it an exclusive relationship, Dana can't help but be bothered by Terry's frequent mysterious disappearances. She wishes Terry would open up and confide in her more. I feel like that's the same bio that we read for her off of another website last week, but I'm not too sure. Epilogue is so good, I love it. Danny with the all caps A's. I'm a big fan of all the club scenes of Dana and Terry dancing in Return of the Joker. Those scenes are a lot of fun, for sure. Let's see. Nelson Nash. What's he got going on? Nelson is a smooth operator, and he goes to the same high school as Terry. He has a lot of power around school, and he's well-to-do, well-connected, and always surrounded by an entourage of wannabe friends, usually jocks. Nelson is bigger than Terry and pushed him around once. He never made that mistake again. I feel like these are exactly what we read off of the Rebirth VHS website last time. Let's see, Mary McGinnis. A single mother in her 30s. Mary is... Yeah, this is exactly the same shit. Are any of them different? Matt is Terry's 8-year-old brother. So yes, so these had to have come like directly out of a writer's guide or a style guide or something to that effect. Like something that the showrunners put together and said, "Hey, this is how you market our show." Or not even necessarily the showrunners, but like the publicity wing of Warner Bros. Though they would have had to have gotten some of this stuff from the showrunners, I'm sure. Terry McGinnis is a good-looking 17-year-old high school senior with an edgy, rebellious nature, a latchkey kid for much of his youth. Terry developed a sense of independence that often put him at odds with the world. Long before he became Batman, Terry hasn't come to terms with the death of his father, who was killed by some thugs when he saw the opportunity to become Batman, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so these are the same ones. Bruce Wayne, now in his 70s. Yeah, I'm not gonna catalog any of this since it's the same stuff. Barbara Gordon has followed in her father's footsteps. Along with the job, Barbara inherited Jim Gordon's serious manner and his white hair. She's matronly but tough, and there isn't a copy of the Force that's foolish enough to mistake her for a weak one. There isn't a copy on the Force. Did they mean cop? There isn't a cop on the Force? Is that a way people talk? There isn't a copy on the Force? We stand an open relationship being portrayed in a kid's show. I'm still very much of the mind that, like, that was the way they wanted to be like, no, Terry's not a bad guy. He's not cheating on her when, like, he obviously was. What is your top 5 favorite DCAU episodes? Oh, man. You're putting me on a spot. Critters. I think Epilogue's got to be in there. You know, I don't know. Critters and Epilogue for sure. I really like Baby Doll. I'd have to like look at a whole list because I can't off the top of my head do that. Let's see what they got for episodes. Maybe they have some stuff. Cop clones. Maybe they have some stuff that's like, this episode happened at this time. Many years after Bruce Wayne has retired as Batman, a troubled teenager named Terry McGinnis accidentally stumbles onto his secret. After Terry's father is murdered by ruthless industrialist Derek Powers, Terry goes to Bruce for help. After Bruce Wayne refuses to help Terry McGinnis avenge his father's death, Terry steals a high-tech Batman suit and sets out on his own. When Terry faces a deadly shape-shifting industrial saboteur named Ink, he finds he still has a lot to learn about being Batman. Oh, shit. They called it Gotham Golem at one point instead of just Golem. Interesting. A skinny, insecure teenager named Willie Watt seeks revenge against his father and abusive classmates when he gains psychic control of a powerful robot drone called the Golem. After some high school athletes turn criminally violent, Batman discovers they are using an illegal substance called venom to enhance their performance. Terry meets a girl named Melanie who seems to understand his burden of having two identities. She too has a hidden secret. Testing the latest cloning technology, Derek Powers scientists create a new body for Mr. Freeze. Freeze is delighted until his new body begins to fail and he seeks revenge against Powers. Okay, hold on. So, like, the newest cloning technology. So, obviously, we had cloning technology as far back as, like, I would say as far back as at least the Cadmus stuff, right? Because we have Galatea, we have the the Ultimen. And I guess the Ultimen technically, like, they die really quickly. But like they had the cloning even as far back as like as Superman the animated series, because Bizarro's a clone even. And I know Bizarro wasn't perfect by any means, but you would think that sometime between Bizarro and Batman Beyond, like they've made clones that look perfect. You've got Galatean, you've got the Ultiman. They've made clones that you can put memories into, because the Ultiman, they die very quickly, and you have to transfer memories and stuff. So why did they have Mr. Freeze in there for so long? Did they just like have him and not know what to do with him until Derek was like, I might need a new body, figure it out? And that's when they were like, oh, maybe Mr. Freeze we could do a thing with. Like, that just seems cruel. And it seems like a delayed thing to do with the science. But that's just me, though. Maybe I'm overthinking it. A new team of superheroes called the Terrific Trio arrives on the scene and promises to clean up Gotham. Batman feels a little obsolete until he discovers what they are really up to. An elusive villain called Spellbinder hypnotizes ordinary citizens into committing crimes for him. When Bruce Wayne challenges Derek Powers' control of Wayne Powers Industry, Powers orders an employee named Walter Shreve to use his latest soundwave research to get rid of Bruce. Ooh, excuse me. A scimitar-wielding assassin named Curare, hired to kill Commissioner Barbara Gordon's husband. With the help of an infatuated lab worker, Ink escapes her frozen imprisonment and devises a plan to kill both Batman and Bruce Wayne. Derek Powers' ambitious son Paxton takes over the Wayne Powers corporate empire and enlists Batman's help to track down his fugitive father. Is that all on this website? Is there going to be... Oh. Well... I guess that's all on this website. So that's the YTV website. Nothing new there. For me, my top 5 are Critters, Over the Edge, Epilogue, Starcross. Starcross is for sure probably in my top 5, I would say. And the Underdwellers. Interesting to see Underdwellers there. I know that I put focus on the more kidified Batman episodes in our Batman is Compassionate thing. And I think those are important as early pieces of the DCAU to kind of set up who Batman is and how he interacts with children and everything like that. And it shows a side of him that we don't get to see in a lot of other episodes. But I do feel like they weren't necessarily executed the best that they could have been. And there's just so much stuff in some of that earlier stuff that just it feels weird. Like the whole gun safety PSA where Bruce Wayne just has a wing in his house just filled with guns. And what's the kid's name from Underdwellers? Frog, I think is his name. He picks up one of the guns and Bruce has to be like, "Nuh-uh, kids and guns, bad news." And it's just like, all right, Dad, I guess. It feels silly when like it's an obvious holdover from like when the in the early days of the show, the the I guess the script, the person who was overseeing scripts was a woman who her previous work was working on the Smurfs, and she went on to work on Captain Planet, and she got the Batman job by saying she was familiar with Batman, but actually wasn't, and then went home to do a crash course on Batman by only binging the 1960s show. And so some of that does come through in the tone of those earlier episodes. Let's see. So we've got the original Batman Beyond website and the Return of the Joker website to go. I think the Return of the Joker website is in Flash, and I don't know necessarily that that'll work anymore. Oh, nope. There we go. It laughs at us. Underdwellers gets a lot of crap for being kind of rough by B-test standards, but I've always loved it. Yeah, like I said, there's definitely... I'm gonna mute that tab. There's definitely a lot of stuff to enjoy about that episode, but like it's still kind of clunky in spots. So I wouldn't necessarily put it in my top 5 by any means, but it's a fine episode. It's got good stuff to it. Okay, so where do we want to start? Where do we want to start? I guess the place to start would be the heroes and villains bios, wouldn't it? Give Danny some of that stuff that he loves. The line is "Kids and guns do not mix." Yeah, I know the line, but I was kind of being a little hyperbolic. One could say. All right, let's start on the left and make our way across. So we've got Bonk as a 23-year-old. So these will be good for putting the Jokers in. It's late in the UK, so I may head off. Good luck timelining Mattie. That's understandable. I feel you. Go get you some sleep, Tron. A powerful but surly enforcer / muscle man in the Joker's ranks. Though amazingly strong, Bonk is not a thug who takes orders willingly. He's got a hair trigger and is liable to start up with anyone who gets in his way, be it Batman or Bonk's own Joker's allies. So he's 23 years old. And like, I know there's a video we did that explains like the specific like time gaps of when that would be, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm just gonna do 2042 minus 23, right? Because 2042 is where we've got Return of the Joker at right now, so that'd be 2022. That'd be 2019. So Bonk was born 2 years ago. And I think we have 2019 on here somewhere. Yeah, because that was the year that Bruce gave up being Batman. I'm just going to, instead of moving everything around at the moment, I'll move it whenever I go back in to clean things up. And for the time being, Bonk is going to be up top here. Bonk is born. His real name is Ben Knox. I'll put Ben Knox is born. And then just so I don't forget where that's supposed to end up going, I'll attach an arrow from here to there. Okay, so that's Bonk. His bio's not nearly as off the wall as as those Kids WB ones were. Mattie, to you, what is better, Mask of the Phantasm or Justice League versus the Fatal Five? Oh man, I don't know. I feel like, they're both incredibly different stories, so it's hard to compare them. I would say, but then again, I compare Mask of the Phantasm and Return of the Joker and say Return of the Joker is my favorite of the two. It's maybe it's harder to compare them because I came across them at different times in life, and they're impactful for different reasons. I don't know. I really like both of them. I think Fatal Five had more important stuff to say than Mask of the Phantasm did, but Mask of the Phantasm had a really good, just a phenomenal story for Bruce Wayne. Without necessarily saying anything important. The Joker! Unknown, criminal, age, late 40s, height 6'3", weight 180 pounds, hair, green. Described as a monster and psychopath by the aging Bruce Wayne, the original Joker was a sadistic clown who delighted in tormenting the first Batman and his allies. At one time nameless underworld gun for hire, the man who would become the Joker once fought Batman during a botched robbery at a chemical plant and fell into a vat of acid. ... The accident scarred both the criminal's face and mind. Now calling himself the Joker, the madman embarked on a campaign to make every citizen of Gotham a victim of his lethal antics. Joker's determination to wreak havoc on the city continues into the time of Batman Beyond, as the clown has apparently returned alive, unchanged, and in his words, ready to give this old town a wedgie again. So here's the thing, is that we know that in Batman Beyond Return of the Joker is Tim Drake. Right? And this late 40s age does not mesh with that. So we've got to assume that they're saying that the Joker himself is in his late 40s. But does that mean we would say that he's in his late 40s during the during the Return of the Joker flashback, or would we say that that's just a general age that he was during Batman and TNBA? Like, I don't know what to do with that information. Let's not forget the most influential and beautifully written DCAU movie, Batman and Harley Quinn. The stilted Joker Flash animation makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. You don't like that? You don't like the removed frames? Batman and Harley Quinn definitely does have its problems, but I do think that it's hated on more than it needs to be. Like, there's definitely like stuff that I would have cut out of the movie had I been in charge of writing it or editing it or anything, right? Like, I'd probably skip over the sex stuff with Nightwing and Harley, because like despite my reading of that as not necessarily being non-consensual, like I understand other people's readings that it is, and like it's best just to not have that going on, I guess. Like if it's possible that you can make people feel uncomfortable with it, then just cut it out if it's not needed, unless you're going to address it in a meaningful way later on, and they didn't. So, just go ahead and axe that. I would have taken out the farting gag, and I would have taken the villains bar and shortened that down a bit, right? We have two different musical numbers there in the middle of everything, and like it's fun being there in the villains bar and and spending time with all of these, you know, henchmen and everything. And the musical numbers are fun by themselves, but when you have them, you know, back to back with each other, it just feels like it's a bit much. Is my opinion. But other than those things, I feel like the movie was more or less pretty good as a continuation of, you know, DCAU Batman. And I don't think it deserves the amount of hate that it gets. But that's just me. Remove most of the car scene too. Are you talking about the farting situation? Or was it or are you talking about like the Booster Gold calls in part? I guess maybe those are back to back with each other. It makes me uncomfortable. Like the car scene was funny, but it's just gross feeling. Yeah. So Terry's also 6'3". They line up in a couple of shots height wise. Let's see. Who do we have next? I like that we have Batman and Terry McGinnis as separate characters here, and Batman's just punching at nothing. Maybe he's trying to swing at bigger Doomsday. Stuart Carter Winthrop the Third, also known as Scarecrow. Not known as Scarecrow, known as Ghoul, but SCRW. It's a Scarecrow pun. Well, part of his bio is missing. Wealthy home. Ghoul joined up with the Jokers for kicks. He's heavily into techno-goth music and has adapted the horror look into his costume. Ghoul is never without his plastic Halloween pumpkin, which he keeps filled with a number of monster-inspired weapons and tricks. Okay, so Ghoul is 19. So let's get his bio, even with it being broken. These bios are for sure on the Return of the Joker DVD, so maybe I'll replace them at some point. But for now, this is just gonna have to work. Stuart Carter Winthrop the Third. He's a 19-year-old, so 2042 minus 19, that's 2032, that's 2023. So he would be about the same age as Terry, apparently. Stuart Carter Winthrop, 1, 2, 3, is born. I'm going to have his birth be before Terry's, because since Terry's never mentioned to be 19, it feels like Ghoul is supposed to be older. And I think that Terry's bio on the Return of the Joker site is also going to say he's still 17. Which I don't think is possible by that time, if I remember correctly. But I'll have to double check that. Ghoul sucks as a villain. They could do some more with him, but I don't think he was supposed to necessarily be a great villain, right? These are all, you know, high school children. Teenagers that are just kind of rebels without a cause. So, you know, I don't think he's supposed to be too fantastic of a villain. The Booster Gold part's fine. Change the rest of it. Yes, true. Okay, so here's another one. We got Barbara Gordon is in her mid-60s now by this point. When the original Bat team hung up their capes, Barbara, Batgirl, Gordon chose to continue crime fighting from behind a desk. She studied law, was elected Gotham City District Attorney, and eventually rose to the position once held by her father, that of Police Commissioner. Nowadays, Barbara looks down on the cape and cowl crime fighting of her youth. ... She recognizes that the new Batman has helped the city in time of need, but she also warns him to keep out of her way and not interfere with police business. Though Barbara was once romantically linked to Bruce Wayne, their relationship turned cold when Bruce, despite his advancing age, refused to give up his crusade against crime as Batman. Barbara gave him a choice, either her or the street. Bruce made his decision, and Barbara withdrew from his life. Now married to District Attorney Sam Young, Barbara has begun to renew tentative, though friendly contact with Bruce Wayne. She still has a tremendous amount of respect for him, though she has noted sadly, such a great man, so alone. I don't think did we get that information on why they broke up, like in the cartoon at all? Because I don't think we did, so that's new. He's a goon, a hench person. They're not meant to be that big of a deal. Yeah, true. Mattie, do you have an Insta? Yes. On Instagram, I am at executive producer Dick Wolf. I created that Insta when I was big into Law and Order SVU, and now here I am years later, hoping that that Dick Wolf himself will eventually buy the handle from me. I've had it for like 7 years now, probably. And not once have I gotten an offer for him to buy my Instagram handle. It's a shame. Save as Barbara Gordon. This one ages her up a tiny bit, right? Because we had early 60s earlier, and now we're in mid 60s. That's interesting to know that she was also DA at one point. I don't think we got that information in the shows either. A smart long-term move. Love that handle. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen sometimes where rich and famous people buy usernames that have been squatted on, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that I will end up with that fortune. Sadly. One can dream, but I assume that he may just end up going with like just Dick Wolf instead of executive producer Dick Wolf. That would be the smart thing to do if I were him. But executive producer Dick Wolf has much more meme potential to it, and I know that because every now and then I'm getting accidentally tagged by people who don't even know me in Law and Order memes. Let's see. Return of the Joker bio. Barbara is in her mid 60s. And then I will take that URL and apply it here. I guess I should have applied the URL for the other folks as well, but no, not replace attachment. I wanted to do a hyperlink. We don't get info on Bruce and Babs and Bruce's relationship in the cartoon, at least. I mean, we get a little bit of info, right? We get that whenever her and Terry are getting coffee or whatever, like we get the info that they date, and then we got that that happened soon after Nightwing left for Bloodhaven in Return of the Joker, and then in Out of the Past we get that picture of her and Bruce together, but we don't get a lot of info. You should have been a Law and Order. So the Law and Order thing, though, that's a beast that I am not willing to tackle, because John Munch from Law and Order is one of the most crossed over characters in all of TV history, and so that universe is just gigantic. Dwayne McDuffie started to unravel it at one point. It's the Saint Elsewhere theory, right? How all of TV happens inside of Tommy Westfall's snow globe from the end of Saint Elsewhere, and it's timelining it would be just ridiculous. Let's see. Let's go with Batman himself. Real name: Terry McGinnis. Occupation: crime fighter. High school student, personal assistant to Bruce Wayne. Age 17. Height 5'10". While investigating the murder of his father, Terry McGinnis sought out the help of elderly Bruce Wayne, whom Terry had discovered was the original Batman. Although Wayne strictly forbade Terry to assume the identity of Batman, the former crime fighter relented after Terry borrowed the supercharged Batsuit. Continue. And used it to bring retribution to his father's killers, Derek Power and Mr. Fix. Having proven himself a worthy inheritor of the name of Batman, Terry continues to act as Gotham City's Dark Avenger. By his own admission, Terry was once a bad kid, part of a street gang run by a youthful racketeer, Charlie Big Time Bigelow. Terry got into a lot of trouble while in his early teens and even did 3 months in juvenile hall. Now a few years older and determined to never make the same mistake, Terry sees his ongoing commitment to Batman as his chance to redeem himself and others who might be drifting toward a life of crime. Continue. The highly advanced... Jesus, how long is this bio? The highly advanced Batsuit, which Terry wears as Batman, both accentuates the boy's natural physical prowess and provides him with a veritable arsenal of crime-fighting weapons. The suit is equipped with jet boots and retractable wings for limited flight, magnetized soles enabling the wearer to hang upside down like a bat, compacted batarangs, blah, 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 eavesdropping. The suit is also bulletproof against most small caliber weapons and resistant to moderate laser attack. Continue. Also, a key part of Batman's weaponry is the Batmobile, a sleek surface-to-air crime-fighting vehicle, which is linked directly into the Batsuit's computerized circuitry. Okay, so that's the whole thing. So there's not much here that we don't already know, but for the sake of thoroughness, I'm going to grab it anyway. Right? Like, we've got he spent 3 months in juvie. And then we had he's 17 years old. Terry bio, page 2. And Terry bio, page 1. Let me see. And like I said earlier, like, I don't think he can, like, I don't think it works for him to still be 17 by the time of Return of the Joker, with everything else we know about his age. But that is something that I will have to math out at some point. They got Terry moving like an Animorph. Return of the Joker bio states Terry is 17. And let me grab that I just realized I don't because it's a Flash page, I don't think it's giving me a different URL each time. They're all just /flash-index. which is fine. That makes it easier for me later whenever I put whenever I hyperlink the info on who was it, Bonk and Ghoul, I believe. Return of the Joker bio states Terry did 3 months in juvie. I miss the kids' WB bios already. Those were a lot more, I guess, not better, but more remarkable, I guess you could say, right? More to talk about with that. Though, I guess so far the Barbara Gordon one on the Return of the Joker site's been pretty interesting. With the information on her and Bruce's love life, as well as the thing with her being the DA. So I guess she must have been DA before her husband became DA. Though I don't know how far before. So I guess that means despite them having Terry and Batman on separate pages, that they probably just link to the same thing. Bruce Wayne. I know we've got Bruce Wayne's bio listed already as far as his age goes, but I'm down to see if there's anything else in it. Years ago, Bruce Wayne fought crime as the first Batman, working solo or as part of a team with fellow crime fighters Robin, Tim Drake, Nightwing, Dick Grayson, and Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. Wayne devoted his life and his fortune to protecting Gotham City and its citizens from a host of menaces and evildoers, such as notorious costume criminals as the Riddler, Killer Croc, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman. Among many others, all tried and failed to defeat the original Batman and his partners. Then came the day when the diabolical Joker captured and brainwashed Robin, turning the boy temporarily evil. The Joker nearly brought about the demises of Batman and Batgirl, until the Joker's own programming caused Robin to snap and destroy the evil clown instead. It was at that point that Batman realized he could never again endanger a young partner, and so disbanded the original Bat team. Now much older and having long since retired from active adventuring, Bruce spends his time running Wayne Enterprises. He also has revised his feelings somewhat about working with young partners and is serving as the mentor to the new Batman, 17-year-old Terry McGinnis. Though he no longer takes a physical role in crime fighting, Bruce is in great shape for a man his age and can still throw a batarang with the best of them. Still got it, as he is prone to say now and then. I will, let me see. I'll grab this page. Just because it also mentions Terry being 17 and thoroughness, yada yada yada, but no new info really other than that. That was what, page 3, page 4. So that's it for Brucey Boy. That one here. Bruce's Return of the Joker bio lists Terry as 17. I wonder if there's a way that I could cram the Batman Beyond stuff all into a smaller period of time by sorting around episodes. That way Terry is still 17 in Return of the Joker. I mean, I would rather not do that. But if all signs point towards that being the case, then I feel like that would be the more canon approach than to... But Jason... What do you mean? Jason in the DCAU? Okay, so we still got Chucko, Wolf, and Dee Dee on the site's bios. So Chucko would have been born in 2018. Chucko is a nasty bullying type who truly enjoys inflicting misery on others. A head enforcer for the Joker's gang, he's a lot stronger and faster than his flabby gut would lead one to believe. True to his sadistic nature, Chucko's face is always hidden behind his mocking clown mask. File. Save as Chucko. Do I have 2018 yet? No, I don't. Oh, I didn't grab his real name. What is his real name? Charles Bunce. More like Charles Blunts, am I right? So I know on the Return of the Joker site, there's definitely more stuff than just the bios. I don't know if any of it's going to be relevant, though. But we can definitely go through it, just in case. But I am starting to feel a little tired, if you couldn't tell from the yawning. So I might call it after we're done with this website for tonight. Instead of going the full 4 hours that we've gone a couple other times. It's been two hours already, 2 hours and 20 minutes. So not bad. Let's see. Wolf, real name unknown, occupation criminal, splicer, experimentee, age unknown, height 5'8", weight 140 pounds, mane black, fur gray with black spots. Wolf was just a nameless underling in the Joker's gang until he decided to try splicing, infusing his cellular structure with that of a spotted hyena. Wolf quickly transformed, some say devolved, into the giggling bestial nightmare he is today. Though he sometimes appears to be nothing more than the Joker's comical mascot, Wolf's crushing jaws, sharp teeth, and razor-like claws make him a deadly adversary in a fight. So we can't really place this anywhere because age unknown, so... Now we just got the Dee Dee twins, who are 16 years old. The Dee Dee twins, Delia and Deidre, often referred to by the collective name Dee Dee, or simply the Deeds, are cute, charming, funny, and completely rotten to the core. They love the thrill of being a part of the Joker's gang and think it's a large charge to be working for the big man, the Joker himself. They have a second page. The Deeds are Olympic-level athletes, experts at tumbling and hand-to-hand combat. Many an enemy has underestimated their playful, raggedy ants-like smiles, only to wind up in traction later. The Deeds' motto is trouble on the double, and they do their best to live up to it. Wolf is cool. It's Woof. There's no L. But yeah, he is a pretty cool one. I really enjoy the Splicers. Any of the Splicers. Woof, Mr. Wing, Abel Cuvier himself. So DD twins, they'd be 2042 minus 16, that's 2032. 2026? So they would be around here. The DD twins are born. I always like that they even managed to represent the hyenas with the Joker's group. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Now that you mention it, because hyenas are laughy guys. I'm really excited about we have in the Legacies issue that's coming up soon. We have like one of the first ever Joker's gangs as far as timeline goes is going to appear, and I was the one who had the idea for who the leader of the gang would be, and it's really, I think it was a really good idea. I think it made a lot of sense, and I'm excited to see the final product of how they formulated that story, and I'm excited to see how people react to it. I also there's a villain, another villain group in that story that's going to have a familiar face as its leader. That was also my idea. I didn't write the story at all, but whenever we were pitching, whenever they were pitching story ideas, I was just like, hey, these would be some fun ideas. Yeah, it's been fun watching Mark slowly draw it up. Okay, so I'm assuming you already know who the characters are then. I forget that Mark has been doing the drawing publicly on Discord, so I can probably say the characters. We've got Shiv from Static Shock, being the head of the first Joker's gang, because in my mind it made a lot of sense that Joker literally went to put a gang together in Dakota, and Shiv just seems like the type who that would have had a large impact on his life, and he would have probably continued to look up to the Joker afterwards. So we've got like a middle-aged version of him being the leader of the Joker's gang, and then we have the last Royal Flush gang showing up, and the king is going to be the Condiment King. I pitched that idea just as a joke, because Condiment King's been showing up in like all of these new DCAU properties, despite the fact that he was never intended to be an actual villain, and was created as someone who is brainwashed. But now that we're like 30 years after his first appearance in BTAS and has taken on a life of his own outside of the DCAU, it seems that people forget what about him was DCAU exclusive or what wasn't, and so they're just like, now he is a villain in the DCAU too. And so we were just like, all right, well, let's lean into that and let's make him the king in the Royal Flush gang, because in my mind, like in the Batman Beyond time, we always get Queen talking about how King never lived up to the old king, her father, etc., 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 etc. And so I thought, well, it would be really funny if who he's supposed to be living up to is the Condiment King. Let's see. Ask the producers. What do we have on here? Oh, this section's under development. Okay. Well, let's go back. We have timeline / genesis of Batman. Oh. Well, this is a... Hold on. It opened up in a different window. But it is interesting to look at nonetheless. This seems to be a real-world timeline. Okay, so we got 1939, Detective Comics number 27, Batman's first appearance, yada yada yada. Oh, here's DCAU stuff explicitly. 1960. Well, why is? I don't know how I work this timeline. Okay, yeah, so it just shows like Mask of the Phantasm debut. Batman Forever debut. Batman Beyond debut. Batman Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. So yeah, that's an interesting thing, but that's nothing there helps me at all. Let's go back to the main. I do have an HTML version of this site. I'm wondering if maybe I can find the Ask the Producers thing there. Gotham City Cinema. Let's see. We have trailer, music clips, animatic clips, a making of featurette, and the Crash music video from Mephisto Odyssey. Bruce Wayne's Gallery. We got storyboards. Can I actually access these? Oh damn, let me save these while I'm here. I feel like these might be images that I already have like inside the what you call it, the screenplay of the movie, but I don't have that scanned in yet. So if I can just save whatever we've got here. And that said next page, I think was what that one said. Oh, these are great. It's kind of neat that they used to put stuff like this on the official websites and stuff. I wish that they would go out of their way to make behind the scenes books for like all of their old cartoons and stuff, because they're just sitting on money, man, by not doing that. So that was Wolf on the Loose. Then we got Villains Arrive. So I think what's happening here is that this first page is just thumbnails. Let me keep these organized just so I know what's going on. This one was called Villains Arrive. Well, that's the same picture of Wolf we already saw. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's more of Wolf that we already saw. Why did it do that? Did I accidentally hit something wrong? No, that's just what they have listed as the next page. Batman crashes the party. DCAU is the best. They should do more with it. I agree. You will never catch me disagreeing with the need for more DCAU. What? Where? Why did it just... Huh? Okay, whatever. Whatever. Keeps acting like I'm clicking on something when I'm not. But like, now that we're all like all the people that watch Batman the animated series and stuff like that are all adults now, and that show is still such a cultural touchstone. You would think that like they would do the easy thing to do and just make art books from it. These days, the behind-the-scenes stuff seems to get revealed either through Reddit AMAs or Twitter threads, which I'm sure is a lot of fun for those who try to document all that stuff. Yeah, maybe we should try to get Bruce Wayne and Paul Dini to do a DCAU Reddit AMA. Damn, it looks like so much of this stuff is just gone. I'm hoping that these are the same stuff that's like already in the screenplay. That I have. Because if so, then I don't need to worry about them being gone. But like, whenever I run into stuff like that, it's always I gotta save it right away or else I forget. Bonk goes bonkers. I'm sure James and Ted will appreciate after I get off of after I get off the stream. They'll probably appreciate me sending this stuff their way. See, do the big ones work? No. That's more small ones, and it's still busted. They're all broken. There's a broken image. There we go. That one's not broken. That one is. That one's not. That one works as well. I think all of these storyboards are from the opening. I try to find a lot of designs from the shows, but some are hard to find, even the Green Lantern Corps designs. Or asked Bruce to draw porn. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, a lot of the designs like aren't necessarily public, and as a result, there's just some stuff that you just will not find. But the way that we have been finding so much stuff, is by going through the credits of whatever random episode and looking at who did the design work, because they'll always credit character design, background design, prop design, all that kind of stuff, storyboards, etc, etc, etc. And you can very often you can find those people on social media, or if not necessarily on social media, you can find like their old blogs or something along those lines, their old websites, their portfolios that they have publicly available for when they apply for other jobs, and they will tend to have not everything that they did for whatever show, but they will have a decent amount of stuff, and if you just keep digging, you might find stuff that you didn't know that you were looking for. because we've got like a cloud drive with like over 200 gigs, not over 200 gigs, probably coming close to 200 gigs of mostly behind the scenes stuff. Like we've also got comics and what's the word I'm looking for? Like footage that we're sending back and forth in there, and like magazines and stuff. But the majority of it, I would say, is behind the scenes art. Let's see. We got Batman Bonks back. Batman gets ghoulish. But yeah, no. I bet if we asked Bruce to draw porn, he'd probably oblige. That's just the thing that he likes to do. I don't know if you saw, but I shared because someone was asking about Plastic Man's anatomy the other day. So I shared a Bruce Timm drawing of Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic in I think the DCAU spoilers on the Discord, and that got a good laugh. Yeah, I found the epilogue Bruce turnarounds, which I have been looking for a while. If the turnarounds, like not just the model, but like the whole, I don't know if I've seen that one or not. We have so much stuff that that like I lose track of what I do and don't have. But I know we have like at least a model of that version of Bruce, because that was what he was originally supposed to look like for Batman Beyond, until Bruce Timm was just like, no, let's not make him look too old. And so we've got that, because I think it was in like a book or something, or a magazine, where he was having an interview and brought it up. Oh yeah, I saw the drawing. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting to see when I checked. Yeah, he's got there's one he did of like of it's like the uncut kiss scene from Harley's Holiday or whatever, where Harley was kissing Batman. But instead this time Batman has a very noticeable boner, and he's saying something like, but what about the children? And Harley said, fuck the kids, or something along those lines. Okay, it doesn't look like we're gonna get these animated storyboards. Yeah, it looks like those are just busted. So be it. Oh my god, how do I get... This is not very user-friendly to try to navigate. I think I'm going to have to just refresh the page to get back to the main. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can actually find that. Because it is pretty funny, but it is also very over the top. Batman, Bruce Timm, uncut kiss scene, Harley's Holiday. Was it Harley's Holiday, or was it Harley? It was Harley's Holiday was the one where they oh, of course they're gonna censor it on the Google for some reason. I guess because on Reddit you can NSFW spoiler. You must be 18 or older to view this community. Yes, I am at least 18 and willing to see adult content. I'm actively searching for it right now. Reddit. If you guys need the turnarounds, James can shoot me an email. For sure, for sure. Click to see. There you go. The kiss scene from episode number 578, the uncensored version. No, mustn't give in. What will the kids think of me? Oh hell, fuck the kids. She's cradling the balls and everything. Like, Bruce Timm just be kind of dirty. I mean, I can't judge. We spent an hour talking about Axel Braun's comic book porn parodies in VC right before I came home. Oi. Will this go against TOS? I don't know. I didn't show any dick or anything, right? It's just it's very hit you over the head hinted at. So I think we're good. Nobody report this. Let's see. I got the Joker's Arcades featuring downloads, games, and features. I might hop into the voice chat later and try to live stream fixing up Blue Spy Armin Alex's whole situation. Okay, so we got a Laser Maze game, a Defeat the Joker game, a Save Gotham City game, and a tour of the Batsuit. Hold on. What is this tour of the Batsuit? Oh, this is kind of cool, actually. Hold on. It opened in a separate page. I think it's actually going to show us like what's all in the Batsuit. Ah. Move mouse over parts of the Batsuit to learn more of its crime-fighting features. Special armament. Suit is equipped with arsenal of bat gadgets which release from the wrist. Is that true? Optical scope and video lens. Metal fingertips. Jets. Flight capability. Okay, so it's just a small little thing. Well, if you do, we're in Mark's server's voice chat at the moment. Gotcha. Why are y'all over there? Are y'all trying to escape somebody? I've seen a lot of Bruce Timm's porn. You can find it by looking at Bruce Timm Art Gallery. Yeah, I mean he's done multiple nude books. Defeat the Joker, Save Gotham City, and Laser Maze. I'm going to assume that those are all going to be games. What do they have on their downloads, though? They got desktop wallpapers. That said Batcave. That says the Joker. Batman Beyond postcards. Send electronic greetings cards to your friends. Oh, so that brings you over to the WB. That's wild that that's the thing that like people used to do was electronic greeting cards instead of just, saying, "Hey, what's good?" Hey, that's the desktop wallpaper I have on my old computer. I think I found this page once and grabbed it from there. Okay. Well, let's go back to the main. Will it not take me back? There we go. So that's the games and featurettes. Gotham City Mall with merchandise, videos, and soundtracks. Merchandise, soundtracks, videos, exactly what they promised. Hey kids, read this first. Make sure your parents know you're here And be sure to ask them if it's okay before you buy. Should I call my mom and ask? Because it's like 11 o'clock where she is. So I don't think calling her would be the best idea. But they say that I should make sure. Well, I guess I'm not technically a kid anymore, so I can probably just push on through. You know who's kicked now, so there's no one to avoid at the moment. I just went there since it's less likely to get too crowded, and I wanted to just vibe while editing my documents. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, Lantern was a bit much. I have the Cairo turnarounds too. I think we have those, but I don't remember. I think Glenn Wong posted them at some point. Oh, no. That page doesn't work anyway, so it's a good thing I didn't call my mom. Alright, so I think that's all just going to be old merch store stuff. So I think the only thing left to look at is that Gotham City Cinema on the Return of the Joker site. And after that, I think I'm going to call it for the night. Kind of wind down. Let's see. We have a trailer. We have music clips. We have animatic clips. I don't even know that these will work, honestly. Right? Expecting videos from a Flash site to have been archived. Yeah, it seems that's not happening. How about this making of featurette? Well, Batman-related characters are a product of Warner Brothers. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that is everything off the Return of the Joker site. I might go around the HTML site in my free time. But after that, I think the only website left is the original Batman Beyond website. So I think I'll save that for next time, for next week. We'll go through that, and then we can probably go through like the Batman Beyond guidebooks that I have. But I think we're getting close to done with Batman Beyond itself, and might need to transition to Zeta Project soon, which I don't have any notes on the show as it stands, so that'll be an interesting one to try to figure out. But with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Grab me a snack, smoke a little weed, hop in a voice chat maybe. I might just play Borderlands or watch Steven Universe or something. I don't know. But having all of these lights shining in my face is definitely taking a lot out of me. And I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna at least hang out somewhere with a little bit less light in my face. So y'all take care. I'll see you next week. There might be a video tomorrow about a baby announcement. But if you already know the baby's here, then you know the baby's here. But you might see some cute baby stuff. I'm really, honestly not sure. And then, as always, next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we all stream at noon Pacific time. It's 3 Eastern time. James on Tuesdays, Ted's on Wednesday, and I'm on Thursday, and then I will be back doing more timeline stuff again next Saturday. I'll try to clean up stuff on that we placed in the time between, and have it all looking good and fresh for next week. But thank you all for hanging out while I'm doing this, having some fun, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.